I devoted a whole report on this a few years ago, well before this crisis in Malaysia, looking at the concept of foreign funding and how that affects issues. You know, there are a number of ways of looking at foreign funding. One is that everybody in the world receives foreign funding. Everybody. Governments receive foreign funding. They take out loans. Businesses receive foreign funding. They get loans, they get investors. NGOs get foreign funding. So why is it a problem when it's NGOs and not government, and not businesses? Why is it a problem? If everybody is in a globalized world, why do we pick on one and say it's wrong and the rest are okay? I mean, for all we know, even individuals get foreign funding from princes in certain countries. What should they tell us? That's foreign funding. And why is that okay and for others not okay? So the question here has to be a common standard. And that if it's okay for the Malaysian government, Indonesian government, Kenyan government to receive foreign funding, then everybody should receive foreign funding. Transparency is fine, I think it should be done. But everybody should. We should not have one standard. And you should not try and make it as though those who are receiving money from OSF, for example, are more evil or more dangerous than others. What about those Saudi princes who are giving money? Are they not dangerous? Are they not influencing people? These are the questions we have to ask, because it's one standard. The issue here is one standard that has to be maintained. And that's what's important in countries across the world. And it's not just about Malaysia. This is everywhere in the world. So there's one thing to do is to come together as all civil society. That this is not just about human rights. It should not be about bar council. It is a restriction of foreign funding. You cannot discriminate and say human rights cannot get foreign funding, but if you're doing religious work, you can get foreign funding. You know, because that's again, it's a civil society, and in a society, you know, you have got to have one standard. Because why do you discriminate against human rights, but you allow for money to come for religious work? So it's also going to be, it's not as easy as it sounds for governments. Because once you discriminate so obviously, and I'm assuming that Malaysian constitution has some anti-discriminatory clauses that then help in that way. So there are many ways of fighting. So, but coming together, all of you, I think, is important. Again, there's also this focus on Western funding, and Soros has become the bad guy. And I tell you that even in the US now, they're talking about Soros like he's the enemy since Trump came since Trump won the election. But then it's not just that. There's a lot of money going around. There's Russian money, there's Chinese money, there's Saudi money, there's Emirates money. There's a lot of money coming in, flowing across the world. So it's not just one form of money. And I think if we deal with that, the better.